Hey, thanks for stopping by. So this is our next project, a Purple Abyss 117. I think this is a 2025 model, if I'm not mistaken. This one's getting all the goodies. The Darkhorse compensator, all S&S cam chest components, ThunderMax new headers. This is going to be a nice one. So we're going to get started here. I think what I'm going to start with is this side of the bike, and then we'll move to the cam side and go from there. This will be fun. Hang in there. Okay, let me go over component list here. We're going in there with the, or we're going on to the bike with the S&S Stealth air cleaner with one of the custom Samson V-twin rings. We've got the Darkhorse compensator that's going to be replaced. Going in with a ThunderMax. He wants some plug wires to match his bike. This is the S&S cam plate and oil pump that will go in with lifter cuffs. We've got the S&S lifters, a new chain tensioner, of course, gasket and bearing. Probably won't need the bearing. These bikes already have the good one in it. And he chose the 496C cam from S&S. Black adjustable push rods. And of course, we can't forget the Trask 2-in-1 and 2. They call this the down under header. It's going on there as well. And the secret sauce.
I want some fancy sauce.
Yeah.
Can I have fancy sauce?
Which I am not going to tell anybody what it is. You'll have to pry that information from my cold, dead hands.
Well, isn't that special?
All right, so that's that. Don't even ask. I'm not telling you. It is a production Harley part, though. It's a replacement Harley-Davidson part. That's all I'm going to tell you. All right. So that's it. And I'm about to get started right now. I'm going to get started here. I've already drained the fluid out of the primary. And what we need to do is get this floorboard out of the way. So we'll do that right quick. All right, now we can go ahead and pull all of the fasteners off of the primary. Obviously, Captain Obvious. All right, so this should come off pretty easily, and it does. Drain some more of that fluid out just a little bit. And I'm going to set this right over here on my trusty little cart that I've had for ages and ages and ages and ages and ages. All right, next step, let's do our little zip tie trick right here. Keep that thing in its place. I'm sure there's a tool for this, but the zip tie is a tool too, so just like that. And that'll hold it. Now get a 1/2 inch. Okay, let's get this gasket out of the way so we don't harm it. Okay. Next thing is the circlip here. Don't go flying, Mr. Ring. You don't have your pilot's license yet. Okay. This can come out for the time being. Put that there, and then the clutch hub comes off. We're going to lay all this stuff right here. Okay. I'm going to cut to the future because I don't want you to see what I'm about to do. And then when I get back to this point, we'll continue on with the install. The mystery continues. All right, as promised, I'm back to getting the primary put back together. We have the Darkhorse compensator installed. Our tensioner is back to where it was. And we are going to put the cover back on and put some fluid in it. So I went ahead and removed the headers, the breather, all the extra stuff that gets in the way, and we'll get down to the nitty-gritty of everything now. So let me get prepared here. We'll go ahead and remove the cam cover. Let me grab my little helper here, see if we can get it to break loose. There it goes. No harm, no foul. Okay. Get the gasket off of there with it. There it goes. All right, let's set this right over here for right now. All right, so now we need to find our timing marks. Let's see if we can find these timing marks. Oh, let me take the spark plugs out first. Hold on. All right, we got the spark plugs out. Now let's see if we can find our timing marks here. There's one. Right there. So there's our timing marks. So that puts the rear cylinder at top dead center right there. Now I'm going to mark those with some blue ink just so I can see them easier when I'm turning these things around. You don't have to do that. That's just something I do. Just makes it easier for me to see the timing marks. All right. Now let me get out my fancy screwdriver so I can get rid of. We're not going to be reusing those anymore. We've got brand new stuff. And remember, I've always said, and everybody else says it too, but you need to make sure these spin. That one does, and that one does. So now we can cut those out. All right, now that will allow us to move 180 degrees out here. Put our front cylinder top dead on compression. So all I'm going to do is move the bottom one pretty much one complete circle. You can see the blue timing mark here. So it's pretty much right there. All right, so now these should be easy to spin. Get these off here. Okay, so this spins and spins. All right, let's cut them bad boys out. All right, That's the worst of that. Get the tensioner off now. Because he's got a new one he's going to use. Put that in his spare parts bin. All right, let's go ahead and pull this gear set off. Try to keep it together. And just lay it down just like that. Now, we can go ahead and pull our cam plate. And because we're replacing the pump and everything, plate, all of it, I'm just going to leave the pump connected to the plate. As one unit, because we're not going to put them back in there. Actually, the cam and everything can stay. We're not putting any of this back in it. Let me grab my trusty screwdriver. Now sometimes these don't want to come loose. You just have to kind of persuade them just a little bit like that. Not much, just a little persuasion. And they'll come right out. What you're doing is you're pulling the pump out of that O-ring, and that's what's keeping it stuck in there. Okay. So all this can go by the wayside. There's the O-ring for the inside. There's the O-ring for the outside. Make sure we get those put back in with new ones. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and set this over to the side because it won't be reused. Now I can see in here that the inner cam bearing is new. It's fine. All right. No need to worry about that. When I say new, it's the good style, all rollers. So we're not going to change it because it's not many miles on the bike here to worry about it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and remove the tappet covers here right quick. Set them aside. Let's get this one to break loose. There we go. All right. Now, here's the situation that I was talking about. These particular fasteners right here are known to break. All right. So what I'm going to do, now these are plastic, so they don't matter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and heat up these bolts here with a torch. Get that Loctite in there loosen up, and these should spin right out. We've got new lifter cuffs, so it doesn't matter if we damage these plastic ones right here. But I'm going to go ahead and put some heat on there. Just like that. That heat will transfer down. We can also heat the crankshaft too, or not the crankshaft, but the crankcase. Get it hot. You would think the engine, as it's running, would heat this stuff up and make it so that it would come loose, but I just don't think it works like that. All right, let's see if we can get it to come loose now. All right, that's a little bit better. I'm going to turn it till it stops. It stopped, so let's heat it again. Heat it again. Somebody makes a kit somewhere that you can, if you break one, you can, it's like a spacer kit or something that uses the 4 screws. But I think we're going to be okay. You just got to take your time with it. That plastic smells like burnt hair. You can tell when it starts cooling down, just like that. So we don't have to deal with a broken bolt on that one. Let's see if we get lucky on the front one. Now let's see if this one, just by chance, might be. Let's go ahead and try it. I didn't heat that one. All right, it's kind of slowing down. So let me heat it up. I ain't taking no chances. Yeah, it makes a difference, man. You can sure tell. So we got past that obstacle. No big deal. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the new lifters and I'm going to put them in a vacuum and pull the air out of them so they'll be easy to bleed down. I say easy to bleed down. It's been my experience that it's best to take the air out of those things. And when you go to do your push rod adjustment, it doesn't take forever for them to bleed down. I know that seems opposite from the way it should be, but it's the way it works. So let's get over here and vacuum these lifters. Okay, this is my homemade vacuum chamber. You can make one at home too. You just need a tire valve stem. That's what that is. A rubber hose and a vacuum pump, just a manual vacuum pump. Like so. And then start the vacuum. You can see the air coming out. Just keep on going. I got all 4 of them in there at one time. Just create a vacuum that's pulling the air out and putting the oil in. So even though they came pre-packaged, they still got air in them. So we'll just keep pulling the vacuum. Just let them sit there for a minute. And you can release the pressure and do it again. Usually about the first one or 2 times is all you need to do it. But there's still air coming out. For sure. All right, I'm going to let that sit in a vacuum just for a little bit. And we'll continue on. I've got to pull the gaskets off of those lifter covers off the crankcase, and then get the new lifter cuffs ready to go in. And we'll be in good shape. All right, so one of the things I did want to show is when these cuffs are installed, you need to make sure when you tighten down the fastener, it comes with new fasteners, that these lifters can move continuously and drop on their own. It's either dropping on their own. It's very easy to get these cuffs twisted just a little bit to the side, and it would create friction, and you don't want that. You want them to fall evenly. It's really easy to make sure, because all you got to do really is keep them moving while you're tightening these down. All right, let's move on. Okay, we have the oil pump in, new seals, and we're going to go ahead and put the cam in just like so. Put it in place like that. All right, now it's good to go. So we want to go ahead now and put in our mounting hardware, but we're going to put blue Loctite on those. So let me go ahead and pre-blue them.
A little dab will do you.
All right. Okay, I'm just going to run these down. I'm not going to hit them hard. I'm just going to run them down and seat them. Then I'm going to come back to torque each one. I'm going to go ahead and torque the pump first. Goes to 115 inch-pounds. They have them labeled A, B, C, and D. So there's A, B, C, and D. All right, one more time just to make sure. I put a little bit of blue on here.
A little dab will do you.
All right, A, B, C, and D. All right, now these plate bolts are number 2. There's 1 and 2. 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, so that's that. Now, let's put our gear set back on there. Oops, it was there. Okay. There we go. Okay, let's go in with the new pre-lubricated S&S cam chain tensioner. And they also get torqued at 115 inch-pounds. All right, that's the end of that story. Now it's time to install the adjustable push rods. Let me put those together and I'll be right back and we'll go through that process. Okay, let's put the O-rings in. Make sure we don't forget them. We don't want to do that. Let's pull the old ones out. Okay, and one of the tricks I use is an old upper push rod. Just puts it right in place there. Just go back and make sure that they're in there when you put them in there. Just like that. Makes it easy. And the last one. Okay. That's the name of that tune. All right, let's go in with the push rods. We're going to do the front first.
Hey, that's what she said.
We haven't turned the engine from when we pulled the cam chest out. All right, so let's go in here and spin that rod down by hand till it hits bottom. You want to make sure it's in the little lifter cup, the actual cup part of the lifter. You don't want to get it on the side in a false location. It takes a while to spin these down, so you have to be patient. I always like to use the push rod tube holder upper that we made. Keeps them out of the way. All right, now these are 24 flats. 6 times 4 is 24. So what that means is you have to turn the upper part of the push rod 4 times, and that is 6 flats. All right, so let me grab my magic marker again. I'll just go ahead and mark 1 flat. I think they may have put a dot on here. Let me look and see. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. No, these don't have a dot. So I marked it with blue. Now, what I'm going to do, the bottom part of this push rod is a quarter. These are 7/16. So I'm going to turn that down until it gets to a good stopping point. All right, so now let me turn this around. So I'm going to start counting. Right there. So there's my blue. So I'm going to start counting. I'm going to go to 24. 1, 2, 3, 23, 24. All right, now I'm going to leave that be, and let's put in the exhaust. Just like so. Spin that one down too. Let's see if this back one will spin yet or not. Yeah, see, it's already good to go, man. All right, so what I want to do is I'm going to go against the grain and put a little dab of blue in there.
A little dab will do ya.
Just like that. All right, now let's see if this other one's already bled down. Yeah, it's good to go, man. See, that's one of the benefits of vacuuming those lifters. Okay, So now we can put the keepers in and turn the motor and do the rear.
That's what she said.
Okay, that one's done. Now, let's move our engine back around to where the timing marks touch each other. Let's call it touch each other. It's not really touching each other. But this will put the, there we go. That's going to put the rear at top dead center. All right. Now let's put those push rods in. All right. There you go. We can put the cover back on now and bolt that down, and we will attack the exhaust and the ThunderMax next. Okay, I wanted to give you a quick look at this Trask header here. It's all stainless steel. It's a shame we have to put heat shields on it, but got to do what you got to do. I suppose it's nice enough you could probably run it just like this. But we're going to put the factory heat shields back on it. Got the air cleaner installed. It cleans that up a lot better, not because this is on it, but because you don't have a big square breather up here. You can see that pretty motor in there. So, all right, next is going to be the ThunderMax install and setup. All right, I went ahead and pulled the tank. We're going to be installing some matching plug wires, and I want to put new spark plugs in this thing from the get-go for the ThunderMax. So on these M8s, you know, there's a deep cavity right here on each cylinder that can collect dirt and dust. Always blow that out really good, because you don't want any kind of sand or debris to go in to the cylinders when you take the spark plugs out. All right, let's go ahead and pull each plug. I have a magnetic spark plug wrench here that holds on to the spark plugs. I'm sure that that's common in the industry, but some of you guys might not know. So that's all I'm saying. I haven't just discovered magnetic spark plug sockets. Just sharing information. There you go. Okay, I usually gap these plugs at 40, so you may choose to gap them somewhere else, but that's where I do it, is at 40. I've always had good luck with it that way. Been doing it that way for years. So you do you, and I'm gonna do me. It's like I've stated many times, this is not an instructional video. This is just for entertainment purposes only. If you want to learn how to work on motorcycles, go to MMI. All right, let's see if we can get some plug wires installed. Let's pull this one over to the other side, just like that. Now, I generally will put some dielectric grease in these things just to help with conductivity and moisture. Doesn't take much. All right. Okay, they snapped right in. So these can be fed to the other side like that. All right, and I will meet you on the other side. Okay, we'll go ahead A little bit more dielectric grease in here. Just like that. Okay. All right, they're ready to go. All right, that little chore is done. Let's put the tank back on. All right, went ahead and put back together the heat shields, the side cover, floorboards, all the pertinent stuff that needs to be done. I'm waiting on one small item to come in. It should be here in the morning. We've got the ThunderMax installed, all the cables routed and secured. So we should be in good shape with the ThunderMax. Okay, it's ThunderMax time. So we know we have a 117. We know we have a high lift cam, and we know we already have 5.5 injectors. So let's go in here and look at my map selection as opposed to the ThunderMax selection. All right, here's a 2025 117 where we used a 484 map. That's not too far off. And it's pretty recent. So I'm going to choose this one. I know it worked on that bike. It's going to work on this one. It's the same engine. So let's open that one and let's get this map installed. All right, so I'm going to go ahead, even though this has just been installed, I'm going to go ahead and save this map under Kevin in the front here. Kevin. All right, so that map will be specific now for this bike. I'm going to save it in my files and we will move forward here. Let's go ahead and look at some of the items that we need to look at. 44,750, that's correct. That's correct. That's correct. Everything looks good. Okay, now let me go ahead and shut the bike off. Let's wait for the link light to go out. Let's restart it. We're going to do this 3 times. You guys know the exercise. Link light comes on, we'll turn it off. That'll be the second time. We're going to do it 3 times. All right, let's turn it off. Wait for the link light to die or go red. All right, turn it back on. All right, so that should be good to go as far as the map installation. And we'll get ready to get this thing started here in just a second. Okay, let's turn this thing on and get it fired up. I'll go ahead and reload the map just in case. We always want to cover our P's and Q's here. Y'all ever heard that? P's and Q's? Better cover your P's and Q's, son. All right, map editing, read. Watching our AFRs. This is a new install, fresh map that was loaded into a bike that I have used many times, but as you know, each one of these bikes is a little bit different. But so far, so good. Let's let it reach 180. We'll probably do a couple of these run-ups and then take it out and ride it. So far, it's following along the base map pretty well. I like what I see. All the gauges are coming into play just like they should. So this is going to be a nice one. Really happy with it. Just right. Okay. We've reached 180 degrees now, which is the end of the warm-up threshold. So we'll go ahead and kill it. Let's let the link light go out, and then we'll auto map what we just did. And I think we're in good enough shape to go test ride this one. All right, well, man, I sure appreciate you guys stopping by again. That's going to about do it for the Purple Abyss bike with special sauce. So I always appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Talk to you later.